Hi everyone, I am Kayum, and in this video we will see a Java program for recursion. I will use a factorial program to show how recursion works on a Java program. So let me tell you, I have created a class which is named as recursion, and let me create a method for uh, recursion class. So here I will create a method. Okay, we can name it as factorial, and in that I'm taking an argument of type integer. Okay, so here we have created a method name as factorial. uh, uh, so this method is of a public type. Okay, so we can use it inside this class and outside this class also, and in external packages also. So that's why I'm using public. You can take private or protected if you want security, and if you don't want to use your inter-class methods in another package or classes. Okay, so we are generally creating a method of int type, so we need a return statement for it. So let me show you that what we will do. So in this we will use if else statement for making our recursion program. Okay, so for example, generally what we do in a factorial. Okay, let me tell you, in factorial we know that n factorial. Okay, this is the notation for factorial generally. So what we do n multiplied by n into n minus 1. Okay, so and so on. Okay, n minus 2, n minus 2, then n minus 3. Okay, n minus 3 dash 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 n minus r minus 1. Okay, in this way we do our normal factorial. For example, if I take 5 factorial. Okay, so what we will do, 5 multiplied by 5 minus 1, then 4 minus 1, then 3 minus 1. Okay, 3 minus 1, then 2 minus 1, then okay, that's it. Okay, we cannot take 1 minus 1. We cannot take 1 minus 1, it would be 0 and our answer would come 0. Okay, so in this way we can see 5 multiplied by 5 minus 1, that means 4. 4 minus 1, that means 3. Then 3 minus 1, that means 2. Then 2 minus 1, then 2 minus 1, that means 1. Okay, so 5 fours are 20, 23 are 60, 62 are 120. Okay, so in this way what we will get 120 as our factorial. So in this way we need to create a program for the same. So in this way, for this case I'm using if else statement. Okay, so we will write if n is not equal to 0. We don't want n is equal to 0. If we did the same, we will get 0 as our result. Okay, and in this we'll return our logic. Okay, in this we will return our logic. So let me tell you, return n multiplied by factorial n minus 1. Okay, n minus 1. So here we can see that we already have created the method as in factorial, and okay, and we are using this method inside itself. Okay, we are using this method inside itself. With a little change, we are just making a change in the argument. Instead of taking n, we are typing is n minus 1. Okay, so in this way, this is called as recursion. This is called as recursion, that using the same method inside itself and calling it from itself. Okay, then we will do else. If n is equal to 0, n is not equal to 0, then this block will execute. If n is equal to 0, then else statement will work. Okay, so whatever inside else will execute when n is equal to 0. If n is equal to 0, then the else block will going to be executed. Okay, so let me return. If the condition is n is equal to 0, then the Java program will return us 1. Okay, so in this way we have created a simple program for recursion. So let me create a constructor for the class recursion. Okay, so uh, for typing typing the constructor, we are using class name, then object name, then new keyword, then again recursion, then bracket close. Okay, so this is our constructor. So let create a variable integer. Okay, int type to call our method. Okay, so let me create a int result. Okay, so this will include our this will include our object method. Okay, so inside this factorial, for example, I am taking 5 as our value. Okay, so we want a factorial of factorial is okay, then our variable what we just recently declared. Okay, so let me see what will be the output of it. Okay, we are getting 120 as our output. Okay, 5 factorial is 120. Okay, let me try with 4. 4 factorial is 24. Let me try with 6. 6 factorial is 720. Okay, so in this way we can use recursion is generally means uh, keep trying and keep trying until the result come. Okay, recursion is keep trying until the result come. So we have got our result from 6 to for 6 factorial we are getting 720. Okay, and for 5 factorial we are getting 120. So in this way, let me tell you that how this program is currently running. Okay, so for example, when I type 6 here. Okay, when I type 6 here, it goes to the first block. Okay, here it goes to the first block. Here step number 1, it will assign or say declare n is equal to 6 when we are type 6 here. Okay, so step number 1 is complete. Then it will goes to if statement. In this if statement, step number 2. Okay, in this if statement, if n is not equal to 0. So what we have given, n is equal to 6. Okay, we have given n is equal to 6. So let's check if this is true. N is greater than, is n is not equal to 0. Okay, so n is greater than 0. So in this way our condition satisfy here. Okay, this will give us true. So under this condition, the next block, whatever inside this if statement will going to be execute. Okay, so it will execute return. What it will return as 6 multiplied by, then it will goes to the factorial point. Okay, again here in this factorial it will give us n minus 1, that means 6 minus 1. Okay, so what is 6 into 6 minus 1? Okay, so in this way 6 minus 1, 6 minus 1. Okay, so 6 into 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay, so let again it will go to 5. 5 is also not equal to 0, then again 5 multiplied by 5 minus 1, then 4. Okay, so in this way it will continue until it reaches to n is equal to 0. When n is equal to 0, it will give us the result of return 1. Okay, so return 1, it will return 1 when it goes to n is equal to 0. So in this way we can create a program for recursion